Good morning.
In the middle of a conversation. Cheers.
I just came running over from my desk because Stacy was like, "Oh, we got lots of time. We have minutes." And then she says, "You have 5 seconds."
That's okay. So yes, we're together. We haven't actually done a Hot Topics live from the studio in
A long time
I feel like it's been since last year.
because you left me on my own.
I did. I have not been on. So it's been lovely. That's what, but you know what? It's interesting because, yes, Faye and I talk daily, without question. And we're always like, okay, what are we going to work on today? What's the priorities? We have a plan, like we know what we're doing, all that kind of stuff. But it's interesting, even though, we talk virtually on multiple platforms, obviously, but when you're together, it's just different.
Yeah.
It's a different brainstorming session. It's a different, when we're driving, it's like, an idea pops in your head and you can just kind of go, oh, like, instead of like, oh, I've got to send her a text or remember the next time I'm talking to her or whatever. It's a different brainstorming. So all of a sudden yesterday, what would have taken probably a few days of brainstorming took like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we can do this. And oh, look at this. And oh, yeah, okay. And then I turn my computer and then she's like, yeah, what if we did this? And it's done. Like the concept is done. So it's interesting.
Well, I think it also tells you that, there is something to be said about offices, right? So,
well, that's the thing is everyone's now working in the hybrid mode. People are not wanting to go back. I can do my work just as well.
But
yes, you can.
Can they?
You can do your individual work just as well. Like if somebody just left me alone, I'm happy in my office. Let me get my work done. I'm not disturbed. But when it comes to collaboration and having that water cooler talk, like we talked about yesterday, that no one does anymore.
Yeah,
it's different.
It is different. And like, I know, I kind of feel like I see both sides of it because I was always remote, even when I was in corporate for as long as I was in corporate, which is a long time. I worked mainly on hotel beds, my laptop and my hotel bed. That's where I did most of my work. I was always traveling. I was always in a different country. So I could do it. I could manage it. It was no problem. But there was a lot of people that couldn't. And
you were even saying this morning, like we were just kind of rejigging some things. And you're like, well, I don't care because I can work anywhere.
Yeah.
So that experience.
Yeah.
Now you can work anywhere. Whereas a lot of people really do get into I need to be at my desk in my own, my regular office.
Yeah.
I can work. I do like other monitors. I'm kind of spoiled that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of in the middle. I like my office. I like my space. I definitely feel, like I'm more productive in my office. Can I work other places? Yes. But I admit I'm not as productive.
Yeah. And so I think, I think you need to really, if you're thinking about it and your company is asking you to go back and you're like, no, I don't want to, you should really think about, are you as productive or not? Because it's not really fair to the company if they, hired you to do a job in an office and now you're not willing to go back and you might think you're productive, but maybe you're not.
Well, and again, meetings, everyone's like, oh, well, I can just jump on Teams and we can have, and there was somebody who was talking, I think it was last week. We had one of our Clubhouse, meetings, networking events. And that's what people were saying. They're like, there's something that's different. Other than the obvious.
Yeah.
But they said, in one way, the online was great because they see a grid of people on their screen and one person talks at a time.
Yeah.
Right. So like if there's 10 people in the room, then that person's speaking and all 10 people get to hear sort of what they're saying and everyone sort of takes their turn versus in person. I'm having a conversation with you, but they're having their own conversation over there. They're having their own conversation over there. And you get to move around the room, which is something you can't do online. However, they also felt like they were missing a lot of people and having different conversations. So it was an interesting conversation about what they preferred.
Yeah. And it really, it comes down to being honest with yourself. Right? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Because, people can say all they want. I mean, is it easier at home? Sure. Are you saving money because you don't have to take the car or transit? You don't have to leave as early. So I know all the arguments, right? You're more productive because, you're there from whatever hours you're there, the same hours
or longer.
But are you?
Yeah. Well, it's funny though, because I think the flexibility was built in. So, okay, you go to your office at 7 and you leave at 6. how many hours in the between are you not in your office?
Yeah. And so it is like, for me, because I was always traveling and doing it, I really was the least productive in my office, because then everybody would like, whoa, you're here. And then they would want to talk to you all day and you get nothing done. People would always stop by your office, especially when I thank God I had a closed office. It wasn't in an open office space, but if you're an open office, it's very hard, I think. So it all depends. Like I said, I'm not easily distracted. I can work on my laptop and the TV can be on in the background, or music can be on, and it's fine because I'm working on what I'm working on. But for some people, oh, I'll take the dog for a walk now, and it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, which you wouldn't normally get to do. So that's fine. I have no issue whatsoever with people working at home. I like it. I think good for them.
Do it, yeah.
But as long as they're producing what they're supposed to produce, because otherwise it's not really fair. Because the fact is, and this is kind of, I argue a little bit with people in corporate, because they've been being paid for an office job.
Yes.
So their salary, their salary really did include the fact that they have to travel,
Commuting,
downtown and through train or car, gas, they have to buy lunch, they have to be dressed, all that stuff. That's what your salary included. And so now, you're at home in your sweats.
You're not commuting. You're not using gas. You're not going to the GO train
you're not buying
whatever
lunch.
Transit system. You're not buying, so the amount of money that, you're right, that's incorporated into salary.
Yeah. And so I think, if you're still making the same salary, then, you shouldn't cut any corners. In fact, you should give people probably the office a little more time, because it's only fair. I mean, that's the truth. Because if I owned a corporation that I want to hire somebody, I would probably pay them a little differently if they had to come in versus they have to, just jump online. Because like, for example, personal care workers, they get paid mileage between their clients, right? And so why? Because they're out. Well, if they did it from home, they wouldn't get that. They wouldn't have to. Right. It's a little different. So, and I know I'm going to get pushback and say, oh, I'm just as productive. Okay. But again, you're still getting an office wage.
Yeah. So, but in the continuation, or whatever, let's say the opposite of that, but not the opposite, is that they pay you based on where you live.
Right.
So if you're living downtown in a city where, it takes you, a certain amount of time to commute, or you have to pay transit or whatever the case may be, and then you move potentially to a different part of the country.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of pushback saying, well, now I want to make the same wage. I'm like, well, no, your cost of living is extremely different, and you were paid for this part of the country, not that part of the country.
You were paid for downtown Toronto or downtown New York or downtown Chicago. Yeah. You weren't being paid for a rural,
living where it's totally different.
So there is interesting. So there is arguments, and I know that the biggest argument is, well, I am just as productive and I do the same job. Okay, then that's the company's choice. But again, at the end of the day, they paid you for a downtown wage. So, if they chose to say, well, you know what, we can't afford that, that's up to you. Yeah. Right. That's up to your decision. If you're bringing in like massive sales and whatever you're doing, then some people don't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't care. But I mean,
but the company does have a right to have that conversation.
Yeah, they do. Sure. And it really bothers me when I hear, especially people in, some of the bigger institutions in downtown Toronto, when they say, oh, like they're making me go back 1 day a week. And I'm like, you should suck it up, 1 day a week and you're still making the same wage. Like, grow up.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband's like, yes, I only take him in 1 day a week.
Yeah. So don't complain about it. Just go in and do your job. You're so lucky
to have a job and employed at a company. Like, there's just so much to be grateful for, right?
Yeah. So, then, here's the other thing we're going to flip to, because I didn't know what we're talking about today, but because
I just went out on that one. I just went on that tangent. I don't know why.
But, so many people now are at home. And they're thinking like, well, I want to do something else. I don't really like this anymore, blah, blah. So a bunch of side hustles and all that stuff has come out. And here's the thing. You do have time now, right? Because you've taken away your travel time. You have a couple more hours, probably most of you to yourself.
Yeah.
So there really isn't an excuse. So if this is the time, this is who we work with, right? We work with people who want to change and go into digital marketing or go into podcasting, or they want to write a book and they want to become a speaker. These are the people we work with. So we see it, and before it used to be always, I don't have, when am I going to do it? I don't have time.
Yeah.
Now you have the time, right? You
Or
have
they want
more
to do
time.
consulting and they just want to learn how to market themselves differently.
Yeah, how to be a coach.
Yeah,
how to be a consultant.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's a different marketing play.
Yeah.
And all the different avenues. That kind of actually really funny. Then you mentioned a book, because somebody actually because I go back and forth on her DMs and my DMs on LinkedIn, and somebody literally wrote, "Why haven't you started a book?"
To you?
To you.
Oh, I didn't read that. Where was that?
That was in your DMs. And why haven't you started a book? That was their sales strategy, because that was the first message. So there wasn't any previous messages about, hi, it's nice to connect with you. Great to meet you here on LinkedIn. This is what I do. But if you look at her headline, it was, I help people write books.
Right.
No problem. There's lots of different ways to do cold calls and all of that kind of stuff. But I just thought that one was really funny this morning when I went, why haven't you started a book? I'm like,
right. And they haven't really,
because I don't want a book.
And they really didn't read any of my stuff. That's a cold message to send to everybody.
Right. But the thing is like, well, maybe you don't want to write a book.
Yeah.
Like, why write a book? Well, it's none of your business.
No.
Like, it was just a weird first question.
And here's the thing now, like with books, which is very cool, because we do work on that in our Mastermind City, and we teach people how to do it. You might not want to write a bestseller, but it's cool now. We can get you to structure a book, and like your story, your life story, basically structure a book, do it properly, put it on, if you want, put it on Create Space or whatever Amazon calls their stuff now.
Kindle self-publishing, I think.
There we go.
Yeah,
and or any of the other ones, you can self-publish, and it doesn't cost anything. You can order one book, so you can load it up. It doesn't even have to be public. You can load it up and buy a book for like $10, right?
Yep.
And then get this. It looks beautiful. It's bound. It's written by
Awesome.
you. And then this is a great gift for your children or your family.
Yeah.
So there's so many. If you think, I don't want to write a book, that's a cool little way to do it. Like,
absolutely,
you could do videos and lots of other stuff, but I mean, we're just talking about books. So there's opportunities to, if you have a little bit of free time, now is the time to jump in. Now's the time to say, you know what? I do want to do a podcast. Oh, you know what? I want to learn how to speak better. Maybe I can start doing some speaking on the side, because I would like to teach other people what I know, but I don't have the skill set necessary to be confident to get on the stage. Right.
Or even just doing workshops. Like if you want to teach, like a lot of people who come to your speaker training want to do smaller workshops, but those speaker skills are still there, even if you're talking to 2 or 3 people, or 10 or 20 in a boardroom, or whatever the case may be. I find that's a big transition, right? I'm in corporate, I have all this knowledge.
Yeah.
Now, how can I sort of embark that knowledge differently?
Yeah. So there's so many things. So I think if you're sitting there, if you're listening to us, means you have a little bit of time. So if you're
shout out to people who are listening. I get a lot of messages that people listen while they're driving.
Yes.
So we get a lot of people who are listening to us this morning on their way to work.
Surprisingly on LinkedIn.
Yeah, on their way to work.
A lot of people just are, just on LinkedIn.
I guess it's a good time.
Yeah, it must be. So
before they start their day.
But like, if you haven't really thought about it, or you have thought about it, but it's been, pushed away to your side, ask yourself, what have you been doing with your free time? Right. And now if you're out there walking or getting healthy or exercising or, prepping healthy meals, congrats. Good for you. That's great. But if you're just sitting on the couch, then maybe it's time to go, maybe I will try something. Maybe I'll add a layer. And maybe you're really happy in your job and you don't want to do anything else. But what if it's, what if you were just meant to have this thing and it explodes, right? What if all of a sudden,
and you have flexibility and you can do what you want and work less and earn more, and I don't know, concepts out there. And it's really good, because I feel like we had that here in Canada anyway. Over this past week, we had this kind of hint tease of spring, summer.
Yeah.
It was lovely. We were on the dock, literally on your dock Sunday, and it was beautiful. Now, yesterday it was snowing, but that's okay. Welcome to Canada.
Yeah.
But it's also, it just makes you feel like, you know, you want to get out, you want to
Yeah.
do something new. So it's literally the perfect time. I find, you know, again, especially here in Canada, that winter stretch is a little bit long for people. And then spring, it's like, oh, and so like literally the few months that we have before summer is such a perfect time. You're energized. You're like, oh, I feel, you know, excited about doing something different, something new. Yeah. This is the time to do it.
Yeah. So if you're kind of on the fence, like, you know, join our community, come up to how you can get the link. I don't even know it.
Go to the Mastermind.
Go to the Mastermind.city and just
Mastermind
join
City
Mastermind City.
I gotta look at some of the links. Let's see what we have.
and then you can join us. You can come into some of our free trainings, like we do free training all the time. Come in, join us, and see if maybe we spark, you know, some curiosity as to, you might say, well, you know what, maybe I'm interested in doing something. I mean, this weekend on Saturday, Shay Marvell is going to be doing a phenomenal masterclass on optimism and using optimism in your life to change things around, right? So it's going to be an interactive live class. It's going to be free for anyone that listens or subscribes to us. So if you're listening, you'll be able to get it for free. And if you go to the mastermind.city/optimism masterclass, you'll be able to get there and join up. I'll be there. It'll be so much fun. It's something different and unique to do. And maybe if you just want to have a little taste of, you know, maybe I need a little bit of, you know, a little more uplifting, positivity. You know, she talks about, you know, the world is optimistic. So she's been doing a lot of work with her clients in regards to optimism and how that philosophy can really help them be more productive in their work, you know, potentially either change new or current stuff that you're doing. So she's been doing a lot of work with her clients. So I'm excited to see what she's going to bring. Yeah, it'll be really good. I hope you guys make it. So again, go sign up. If you are on our newsletter, if you're not, go to mastermind.city, sign up for the newsletter, because whenever we do these free trainings, you guys are the ones who get them. We don't advertise. We don't put ads out for them. It is really strictly for our community members. So, and free to join. So you don't have to worry about getting, you know, caught up in anything. So go ahead and join us, get on our list at the very least. And then you'll have access to that. You'll have access to our Master Monthlies, where we teach you cutting edge marketing, what's happening in the digital world. We have a live book club that you can join us which is a little bit different. It's an action class book club. So you actually don't even have to read the book in advance if you don't really want to. You can show up.
That kind of book club.
We do a full video summary, and then we dive into the key concepts of the book, and how you can apply them. So that's once a month too. There's meditation. There's on-demand meditation that helps you for your business when you're feeling stressed or when you're feeling anxious or when you just need to clear your mind. And there's both video and downloadable audios that you can use, and those are all free. Really cool. Again, only to our community members, so there's a reason to join us there. So hopefully you will.
Absolutely. Okay, so I just want to switch gears slightly. I want to know if you've seen this in your social media accounts. I'm interested in seeing why they did this, and that is the broadcast channels on Instagram. Have you seen them?
Nope.
Okay, so Instagram has come up with broadcast channels. Okay. So they're rolling it out very slowly, and I've seen probably about 5 or 6 on my account, and you can join. The difference is, so you join through and you see the information through your direct messages on Instagram. Oh. You don't have the ability to respond back. It is a one-way communication channel.
Right,
so it's exactly, hence broadcast channel. So you join as okay, I want to receive these kind of thing. Yes, I'll join the broadcast channel. And you just literally, when they have some sort of information to let you know, they put it in the DM, and it goes to all the people who have now, quote unquote, subscribed to.
And you can unsubscribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You can leave that broadcast channel, but it is a one-way communication tool, hence broadcast, to your followers without any engagement back. What are your thoughts?
I think I like it if I really don't like to miss things from certain people. So I think that would be cool. Like if I know like they're like for us, if we said, hey, you're invited to the masterclass that starts today. And it can go out to everyone and if they forgot or missed it or didn't see it anywhere, I think that's great. I think it's great that you have to subscribe. So it's nobody's forcing you to take their
you're
information.
saying yes.
My only challenge is I never look at my DMs.
Well, but it's interesting. So number one, you're not relying on the algorithm.
No.
You're saying, I want to receive information from this person.
Yeah.
Very similar to signing up for their email list.
Yeah.
However, as we all know, sometimes emails can get lost in junk folders, can get through filters. Again, posts like, did you see this post about this event? No, I didn't.
Right.
Because again, depending on how the algorithm's working for them. So I just thought it was very interesting.
I like it.
I do. I definitely see its value. I have joined a couple because I wanted to see how it worked. And it was just literally, hey, just wanted to make sure that you knew this was happening.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. I don't think it's very new. So I haven't seen a lot of people using it yet.
So they're not spamming us yet.
No. And I think that's where it's okay. Like, again, if you're using it kind of like the tag on Facebook, everyone.
Right.
People are.
Oh yeah, same thing. But that one's like annoying now.
It's getting very annoying. There are groups that have literally said, when I will use this tag once a week for the training that I have in this group to make sure that you don't miss it. And I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that one.
Yeah.
You've given me a heads up. I know when to expect it. I know what it is when I get that notification in my Facebook. So it's like, I just wanted to highlight this. If it's used properly,
but that's definitely the one on Facebook is abused.
110%.
Because like they tag you on their lunch. You know what I mean? Like they tag you.
Or just like somebody else tags, saying, oh, a comment or, because I want to like promote this thing or whatever. It's definitely overused.
Yeah.
And it's getting annoying. But the broadcast channel hasn't been abused yet because I don't think people understand the strategy of it. Well,
it can't really it can't be abused because you subscribe. So as long as you can unsubscribe, it's fine. Yeah, some people are going to broadcast every single day because some people are just annoying.
They're just and it's only text. It hasn't seemed to be a lot of
so that's
media
good. I just and I know what's going to pop up. You're going to see it. You're going to see all this training pop up about, hey, this is the new way to create an email list and all that kind of stuff.
Or just create a community. And I think that's going to be the really interesting twist is that I'm going to see, and it's going to annoy me.
Yeah,
is that they're going to say this is a great way to build community. You can't build community if you don't have two-way communication.
Yeah.
A broadcast channel is not a community because it's only a broadcast channel. Like
and
there's
I
only
think,
a one-way communication.
I think, and for me, my first, thing that comes up into my brain is that people think that, oh yeah, I don't have to have an email list, but you're not going to own this. Instagram, and we know, can kick you out in a second. We lost one of our channels and we have no idea why.
Yeah.
There's nothing on it. It was a really great little channel with a brand. It was perfect. And we've tried everything to get it back. And I think sometimes, you lose it only because somebody complained about something that was not legit. And they listened. So, I mean,
or got hacked or something.
Yeah.
Like it's irritating.
So you can get kicked out in a second. So if you are relying on your subscriber base in terms of social media, then you got to be very worried because there's no other way to contact them if you get kicked out.
Well, in this case, like we could have had everything set up. It was a very successful channel, a lot of followers. And if we had set up a broadcast channel and relying that solely on our communication to ensure that people knew what was going on, and then boom, it was hacked into, and now we can't get it back.
No,
it's gone. I don't have access to that list. I don't have access to those followers. I have no idea.
But I would say, yeah, let's try it out. Let's put it on it. Do we have it on Mastermind City?
No,
the option
we don't have it yet.
So when we have it, we're going to try it. We don't like when we don't have access to something. So
I get very angry. I feel like I'm like the first one I should get because I'm the one that would test it. I'm the one that would try everything. I'm the one that would use it right. I wouldn't promote it, but I've seen it. I just wasn't sure if anybody else had seen it yet,
No.
and what their thoughts were on
I know,
that.
I mean, and I might have, but it always
No.
ends up in my like the on occasion when I read my messages. I shouldn't say that. I am always looking at my messages, but you know, a lot of them end up in that other folder, and those are the ones I never see. So I assume a lot of the broadcast stuff will end up in the other folder. So
no, I was just seeing if I could find one that was using it well, but no, because my DMs, because you send me a lot of reels.
Yeah,
so it's kind of gone down.
I just send her things that make me laugh at 2:00 in the morning. Sorry about that. You can always tell when I'm posting on my stories at 2 or 3 in the morning, because they're always like related to wine, goofy quotes, or little kids. That like little kids talking trash, not like little kids that are cute.
Yeah, exactly.
Little kids that are just like make me laugh.
And they're funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, So there's always new stuff coming out, which is one of the things that I love about our Master at Mondays. And I think the next month, what we're talking about tech. Shocking. And speaking of tech, we need to do something more with tech.
Well, we are thinking about, we'd love to hear from you guys. So, you know, we talk about random topics on Hot Topics, and we're really thinking about diving a little deeper into bringing you the latest in tech. We have Tech City. We just decided, you know, should we actually put it out there on a weekly basis so that you guys could know? I mean, we're big right now learning about AI and how that you can change your business with it. We are going to present it, but what do you guys want? What do you enjoy listening to other than us being ridiculous? What do you want to learn?
But learning is a big one. Yes, we want to make sure that we bring value, and we love our tech. We are up on all the different platforms, so we can very easily take what we do first, you know, what platforms you want to learn about. Is there one that you're like, oh, I kind of was looking at this on the side, but I'd love to know how to implement it. And I think that's the biggest thing, is you go to YouTube and you see the how to use it, right? And you go, here's the step-by-step on how to create a video, or here's the step-by-step how to create this. But then you've got this done and you don't really know what to do with it. Right. So I think that's what we want to bring to the table, is not only is this particular platform or the software really good because it does X, Y, Z, and this is how you build it. Now, how do you implement it into your business, and how do you actually use it to generate, you know, or to communicate with customers or whatever?
So let us know. You can DM us
on Instagram, because, you know, we will look at that.
Stacy will read it all. And DM us, or just, you know, give us a little chat wherever. Come in. If you're in our community, you can certainly message us there. That's the best place to get a hold of us. So just let us know what you think, what you want to see. And then in the meantime, make sure you show up on Saturday for the Optimism Masterclass. You don't want to miss that one.
Absolutely. All right.